This video is going to be literally the ultimate explanation of how to actually heal your nervous system so peace, harmony, ease become your baseline rather than fear, panic, worry. This is for people out there. You may be struggling in life. You may be really successful in life, but you just can't sit in life at a level of peace and a level of ease. And I'm going to explain exactly why today. And it's because you haven't learned what your emotions actually are. You haven't learned what that energy actually is and learned how to master it. You see, the fear, the worry that's keeping you stuck is actually something that comes on you. It's not actually you. So you are not anxious. You are not worried. You are not fearful. You are the one behind it who experiences anxiety, who observes the worry, who observes the fear. Once you realize that you're the one who notices rather than the one who is, that's when you can actually heal your nervous system and become whole. And literally, I did this and it changed my life. I now live in a life that I wish I dreamed of years ago. And it's because I learned to master some simple things. If you like Spirituality Simplified, guys, please consider like, sharing and subscribing. And also, if you're interested in learning how to do this on a deeper level, stick around to the end of the video and comment yes in the comments. So you may have been in fear. I lived in it too. I'm going to remind people of some of the story that I went through. I happened to be a successful actor for many years, and then I took on a big role. I made some bad choices in the way that I approached it and in my outside life. So I started to become very fearful. I was at the height of my career and I was playing to thousands of people a night, and I just started to go into burnout and fear. From there, I started to get chronic throat pain, hair loss, digestive issues. Started to lose my relationship, started to put pressure on my family, nearly lost the job of my dreams because of it. The only reason I got through to the end of that show, people didn't notice that I was feeling this bad, like as I performed, but my life was in turmoil behind me. So high achievers out there who are performing and their life behind all of the success is turmoil, this is for you too. So I was doing it. But it was so difficult. It was so hard. And then I went away. I got through to the end of that show and I left. And I tell you, I had to go on a journey of healing. I tried all the naturopaths. I tried the nutrition. I tried everything. And then I had to realize something. And it was one day when I realized this thing that I'm experiencing isn't me. It's something that came upon me because I wasn't born with this anxiety. I wasn't born with this fear. I wasn't even born with the pains and the hair loss and the stomach issues, and I wasn't born with any of it. It's something that was created over time. It's something that came upon me. And that is in Job, that which I greatly fear has come upon me. And I started to realize it. My fear had brought this on. But who was the one who noticed the fear? It was something behind it, and that was my awareness. Once I started to realize that I was the one who was behind that fear, I could start to see it as something separate to me. You see, your nervous system just reacts to how you experience life. So if you see something as a problem, you're going to teach yourself that it's a problem over time. The nervous system will start to see it. Let's say, for example, I know it's quite silly, but we take a strawberry and I convince a child that strawberries are dangerous, that if you eat them, they're poisonous. And I tell that child over and over again, this strawberry is poisonous. When they go to eat it, they're going to have a literal physical reaction, potentially even be sick, or even worse, they have a pseudo, almost like a, what do you call it? Like a just a chemical reaction. Their throat closes and everything. Okay? It's the same with how you've created fears around what's happening in your life. It's been taught over time. Then it starts to express sometimes physically as well. But as you sit back into that knowledge of it's not me, it's something I'm experiencing. So I started to sit with the pain, with the anxiety. I started to sit behind it. As Michael Singer would say, it's the most highest form of spirituality is to do it in your life. Now, before that, I was doing all the Joe Dispenza meditations. I was doing everything, but I didn't bring it into my life. So when you started to notice my reactions to life, I was so fearful around money. I was so fearful around doing new things. I was always worried about getting in trouble. This all stemmed from my childhood, though. It stemmed from incidences in my childhood and later in life that had left trauma in my body. Now I only saw through the lens of that trauma, and I would jump from emotion to emotion. But here's what many of us do. We jump from emotion to emotion, my friends. But what your job is to do is to start to notice those reactions. And as I used to sit back, and I started to sit back into these things, and I would go, God, it's so in my throat, or it's in my chest, and it's there. But I just breathed and relaxed behind it. And I would watch that fear. I would watch that sensation. What happened is it starts to move. And it started to move, and it started to move around my body, and it left. Then from there, I added something else on, which you don't have to do, but I would claim, divine peace fills my soul, divine love saturates my entire being. I am guided in all of my ways. Joy, peace, and harmony light my way. I'm going to tell you something. After a while, I just started to not get as many reactions. I started to not be as fearful when I was spending money. Nothing had essentially changed, just my reaction to it. Now, here's the interesting part, the most interesting part. My nervous system started to find balance. It started to heal me. Right, so instead of now being in survival mode, my stomach and digestive issues went. I decided one day I could eat bread from a place of peace, and I could. And my throat pain left after releasing it. It took a few weeks, but it left. My hair never fell out. Here it is right now. It was falling out. My body was in turmoil, and then it found balance. But this is the extra interesting part. Then I started to be guided towards success. I started to be guided towards other things. Clients and other people would come out of nowhere. Gigs and opportunities that I needed when I needed the money would come. So my nervous system had now found balance. Now my mind had found clarity. Now when I claimed these divine truths, whatever divine energy out there, God, as I like to call it, would respond. It's a bit like the lake, the still lake. If you have a still lake, you can lay a gentle bit of dust on it and that ripple will go across the whole thing. That's what I want you to remember, guys. So how you heal your nervous system is as simple as this. You start to realize you are not the emotion. You are not even the situation. You're always the one who notices it. And that presence behind there, that awareness, I call that the Christ consciousness. That's the true you. And it's never judgmental, it's never bothered, it's always peaceful. And once you realize that, it's like the light. I call it the light that shines on the darkness. You see, the darkness or the anxieties, the fears, the guilts, the shame, they are the darkness. And the awareness is the light. And the darkness can't live in the light. So when you start to put that light of awareness on the darkness, it has to eventually leave if you are patient. Now, it doesn't all leave in one day. It's not like one meditation and everything's healed. You have to make it a lifestyle. So you can do your meditations, you do your affirmations, but you also, every moment in your life, you start to be aware. And that's what being awake is. That's what they mean when they say someone is awake or they're asleep. Being awake is just being aware of how your body is responding habitually to the environment. So some people don't even notice it because it's such a habit to live in it. And that's why you have to wake up. And it takes a bit of energy at first, but then it becomes a lifestyle. And I have manifested really interesting things. Healings of my wife's nan, a cat that went missing, returning. Healings of my dog, my hair loss. I've also seen a massive increase in my standard of living and lifestyle. The list can go on and on. And that is all come from mastering what? Fear. That's why I always say, peace is God. Fear is the devil. It's an illusion though, because there is no such thing as the devil. There is just this infinite loving presence. Now, some of the Christians out there, I'm not trying to step on your toes. I was brought up Catholic. But what I see it as is, rather than an actual being, it's an energy, symbolic. So fear is what comes into our hearts and mind. The Garden of Eden is the place of peace where everything is perfect, because life is like that when you don't judge it. Life is perfect, it's perfection. But we have so much within us that's judgmental, fearful, worried. So what I want you to do is start to notice those parts of you that are judging, fearful, worried. Don't take action from them. The number one rule, And then you train your body back into peace. Your nervous system relearns peace as a natural state of being because now you're awake. You see, your subconscious mind, it can't listen to you when you're in fear. So you're trying to change from the energy that's created all the problems. What you have to do is start to detach back from that energy as an awareness. Observe it, breathe, sit back into it, relax. This will bring you peace. If you're living in chaos right now, scan down your body, find an area of your body where you notice that tension or that fear. It can be physical, emotional, or otherwise. Then relax. Start to breathe deeply. This tells your body that it's time to relax. So the energy that isn't part like that has to start to move. It cannot live in the body. But this is the most beautiful part. Just like your body knows how to get rid of waste food, waste water, it knows what to do with this waste energy. And it will start to leave. From there, you claim who you are now or who you want to be as if it's now. And you will literally change your life. You'll become a man, woman, or whatever you are, a person of peace and flow. And then life seems to take the reins and it will guide you to all the things you've ever desired. I hope this video helped you today. I'll see you at the next one. Oh, and if you have made it to the end here, I'm looking for 3 people who want to work with me to change their life. 3 that want to change their life and live in this peace. If you are serious, check out the link that's in the comments pinned there and sign up for a call with me now. Speak soon.